seen Blade Runner?
Okay, we're back.
Yes, we are.
We're back. This is episode 5, and we're going to be tackling the Christopher Nolan epic Inception.
Inception, yeah. What did you think?
It's actually the first time I ever watched it this week, and it was a bit of a maze of a film, innit? Like it's
yeah, so I've watched it umpteen times, which is an annoying word, but I remember teaching. Anyway, so I've watched it. I remember watching. I've watched it loads of times. You've watched it loads of times, but not for ages.
And then rewatched it the other day and was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting because we're all going to have like different perspectives on it. Obviously, because we're all individual humans. We would have had that anyway, even if
that's what life is.
Anyway, so
I'm
yeah,
just
go
a
on.
carbon copy of you too. No, I'm trying to.
It was.
No.
Let me be involved.
Let me. No,
My mic's not on. No, I'm joking.
Oh, well, the mic's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see he's filling the
He's
podcast.
just messing. Yeah, I imagine. So go on. What were you gonna say, Carl?
It was.
It was a maze of a film.
It was a maze of a
Do
film.
you mean amazing?
I mean, I entered the film and I thought, I can't find the end. Oh God, look at that, the bush over there. It was one of those films, wasn't it, where different type of film I've ever watched in terms of like, with it being in dreams and stuff, and like structuring how to like
the different time, like how time moves,
like altering people's like lives in the dreams.
Yeah.
But then you kind of, when you're watching the whole film, it's like, right, are we still in this dream, or has one of the characters like Tom Hardy started another dream? Are we in Leonardo's previous dream? Does something need to happen in Joseph Gordon-Levitt's dream to link them all in together? So it's definitely confusing, but it's a very like.
Well, it's meant to be fair. Like I think the first like 10 times I watched it, I was like not really getting
it.
Where I am or whatever, and then like and then by the 11th, I'm like, I've got it.
I had this thought when I was watching it where I'm like, Christopher Nolan loves cinema and loves making stuff that he's like, this is what I want to make. So and he did Memento. He did a lot of things that built up to that. That night was before this, right? Yeah. So
a few years before.
He'd gotten he'd proven that he could do it, and he's like, I want to make a film like this. And because he loves cinema so much, he will have watched his favorite movies hundreds of times before like streaming and shit, where we've just watched things once. So
he'll realize that it's like it's better to have the longevity of like a film that you can watch hundreds of times rather than that's sick on the first watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like rather than it be this throwaway thing, it's as if he's going, I want you to watch it. I've heard him say that in interviews where he's like, for many of his films, Tenet included, which is like Inception, but in the same way of it's just time bending and confusing, but like on steroids. And Inception was like, it's one of those where, because I've watched it so many times and I went into it going, try and like know where you're up to, really pay attention to it. And I was like, I do get it this time a lot more. And there is some parts where you're like, which is all films. Like a lot of it I was going like, are they all dead smart? But they're also really good at like fighting and stuff.
Yeah, they're hard and smart.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just quite a rare combination
Seems to be a lot
in real life.
Just bare people coming after people all the time.
Yeah.
Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like,
he's annoying in it.
I don't like him.
He annoys me in it. I don't know why.
I do like him as an actor. I felt like he was like decent in it. But yeah, like there just seems to be a lot of like people just running. Like, is that a theme in it where?
Yeah, I think that's supposed to show like they're all like mysterious wanted guys because
in dreams or whatever, and it's like they're trying to fix what they need to fix.
It's like a heist film, isn't it? It's like it's a heist film that's obviously got this really weird supernatural, sci-fi angle to it. But basically, so that's where you got all this like they have to assemble a team. You know what I mean? They're like that's like tropes of like heist movies where they go be like, "Hey, where's Wilkins? I think he's in Mombasa." Do you know what I mean? It's like,
we gotta get to Mombasa through this dream. Okay, put me to sleep. I'm gonna end up in Mombasa. Where the fuck is that, man? Hey Arthur. Hey Wilkins. Just come from Japan.
Stop calling me Sing, it's Bassa. No, but
jitty people.
He's talking about the Irish. He's talking about the Irish.
Podcast.
That's the Irish, yeah.
So
That's okay.
Yeah, that's Departed. If you watched it.
No, but yeah,
you started it with
no,
sing me,
no,
motherfucker.
Wilkin. Yeah, no. It's like, and they always say shit like fucking. Yeah, he's got a 4 days head start. Good luck finding him. Like,
with that face as well.
Yeah.
Good luck. I know you're set over there, but good luck finding him in Busaka. Is that a place? I don't know.
It's the same Armageddon, did it?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
There you go.
Apparently he's going to Ham West. He's at United Manchester right now, okay?
Ham West.
But yeah, it always seems to, like, as soon as a dream starts, like, someone's just walking and then someone just, like, the elevator opens and it's like, I'm running now, and it's like people are just after him. Like, maybe that's the theme to say, right, we need to kill these so they don't complete what they need to complete in the dreams or something. But
yeah. Well, a way to follow that is I think when he's meeting people, like Tom Hardy is a great example of it, when people are trying to chase him, he's like, you've got a tail, and he mentions like, oh, that's from that company that they mentioned at the beginning, Cobalt.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like,
I think it's that.
Yeah, I think that's right. And then he starts running from him. And at one point, a guy, like, when he's trying to get through that tiny wall.
I was just about to say,
Well, this is the thing, and like, the trouble is that I'm trying not to just parrot whatever video essay that I've watched on YouTube. But like, obviously, a lot of the kind of, like you said, it's confusing. But obviously, it's purposely confusing because dreams are like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
You always wake up and you're like, oh, how did I get here? I'm with The Undertaker. You know what I mean? Fucking in Sainsbury's with The Undertaker whilst he's, fucking doing shit to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Tombstone in the counter lady.
Tombstone in my mum who's got AIDS in my dream. Do you know what I mean? So, like... No, my mum's fine. She's recovered now.
AIDS in my dream.
But yeah, so it's got loads of stuff like that. He's squeezing through the little thing, and also there's a scene in it where like he doesn't sneak up on fucking Michael Caine, and he's in the office. He's in lecture hall. He's in that lecture hall, and he kind of like, you don't see him open the door and go in. He's kind of just, Leonardo DiCaprio's just there.
Yeah,
he's
right.
like, and he's like, the scene starts, and you're like, there's loads of those things where it's like, you're not sure how he got into the room. It doesn't. The usual cinema tropes of like seeing how the establishing shot and how he gets into the thing is not like they're all cut out so that you think it's a bit jarring. Yeah,
and I suppose that backs up when Adriana is like
Ariadne.
That's it. Yeah,
she's married to Wilkins.
Elliot Page. Yeah, go
on. So she's in that scene in the dream.
No, joking.
No, the character is she. I knew this would be a topic of.
I never knew that until today.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was going to before, but like, guys, we've got to be careful when we. No. We've got to make sure we say. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So, when he's first got her in the dream, and he's like, "Well, how did you get here? Like, you never know that." And then that, parallels that. But I think that there's a certain amount where you're supposed to think, right? Well, this is what is this level of the real world. Like the closest thing to the real world is this, and then it's like this is this level, and then when it does certain flashbacks, you're like, oh, that's that like sunken, weird, like limbo place. So if you can't see it in those modes, I think that's all it is you can understand the steps of the movie. But then if you then just go into it further, you're like, is that a dream? Is the reason he's going to a wall like this? Is that a dream? You can go so far down it.
Because he also mentioned about he's having a discussion, Leonardo, with the Elliot Page, is it?
Character?
About dreams or memories.
Yeah.
So you always sat there like,
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
He's like, so basically, I think like the main premise of the film is that like is that reality that we're introduced to. That we're like, this is reality. Leonardo DiCaprio is this like kind of like mad like heist. Dream heist guy or whatever, and then basically he's he's banned from America, but this big guy's like, listen, if you do this job for us, we'll let you back into America. And then at the end he does go back, but what Christopher Nolan's like making you question is that a dream
as well?
So like, right at the end when he goes back and you see the thing spinning, there's this famous like a famous thing. So like basically Christopher Nolan's been like, because remember, I don't know if you remember, that one of the signs that he's definitely in reality is when he spins the thing and it topples over.
Yes.
He says that in the dream, it never stops spinning.
Spinning, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And at the end, the very last scene, he goes into the thingy and it zooms in on the fucking spinning top.
Yeah.
And it just cuts just before
it falls over.
But you don't know whether it. So he left it open.
You guessing, doesn't
yeah,
it?
and if you watch it, obviously it's because the first time I watched it, I was like, don't really know why everyone's buzzing off it. But then the more and more I watched it, and I was like, and that scene at the end was just like, because it literally pans to it and you're like, oh shit, this whole thing was masterminded. Like,
and then the next time you watch that, you get to that scene, and you've always been looking for things in it, but even in that scene, it's like the kids are wearing the same clothes as they were in the memory and stuff like that, so you're like, well, and like there's a point where he goes, I don't want to see the kid's face when his
that's it,
dream
near the end,
wife,
isn't it?
and she's going, I don't want to look, that's not them. Then in the dream, he's like, look at me. He's like, just let me. It's like he gives up on.
He gives up. Yeah.
It's like whether or not this level is a dream as well, it's fine. I'll spin that and I won't even look at the thing. I'll just run away from it.
Like near the end when his kids do turn around, is that the first time they look at each other?
Yeah.
In the film, because that's where I thought, right, this is reality then, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're supposed to think that, and then you're.
Maybe he's just like thinking.
But this is why it's so good, and obviously it's so open to interpretation.
Oprah
Winfrey. She's one of my favourites.
Oprah Winfrey.
In it. But yeah, I mean, what do you think of your boyfriend Leo in it?
He's in some of my favourite films.
No, do you know what? I one of my notes was his hair is fantastic.
It's very that's been gelled where if you fucking went on it, your hand would bounce off. It's immaculate in it.
It's just like fucking.
This is him
straight back,
like prime Leo.
Oh yeah.
He's done like 15 years of Hollywood, and he's like, I get to this point now where my hair's going to be in the film, and do you know what I mean? And I'm Leo.
It's on the very beginning of starting to get a big alcoholic head.
Nowadays,
if you see him in a film, his face feels like he's always an
It's like that in Wolf of Wall Street.
It's
like 3 years after Inception.
Yeah, it was.
And it's just like his hair's the same, his head's the same size for reason. It's like, right, okay, he's still in that phase.
I realised something in this film that when I watched it, I was like, Leonardo DiCaprio is great at being like tortured by something. Like he's like,
he's always like on edge in it.
Wolf of Wall Street.
I can't fucking take this shit anymore.
It's always like him being like sweating and wiping it and going. And if someone says, "Are you all right?" and he's like, "Yeah."
He's got to just like carry on.
That's true. Actually, I've never noticed that before.
That's his main thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting because even though you see him in a lot of action films and that, like he's in Departed, but like that certain role, I've never really seen him where he's got to be this like professional. Kind of
he's kind of like more in control. He's like like you said, like way more mature.
Yeah, like suited up, like walk, like like doing like. There's a scene where he's like just taking people out, but like silently, like
and he's like catching them.
And he's literally like that's a sort of like Arnie film you'd see, or like Stallone.
It's got the sick action from that.
But seeing him do it, it's interesting. But
it's got lots of Bond, James Bond tropes in it, and
that's the best way to put it. Actually, Bond type, in the film,
because that's a whole nother layer of it as well. Obviously there's the whole like, what's this story all about, and I have to rewatch it, but I was realizing how many just amazing cool scenes there are, like the first dream thing where everything's exploding, like the non-gravity like fighting in the that's all done.
Joe's Gordon-Levitt where it's all spinning, he's fighting like agents, and it's like no gravity and stuff, and it's even when him and the girl in it, who were like, but when the thing comes on top of it, the
physics of it,
which is mad, and then they walk up to the end of the road, and then they kind of like
this is the thing, like I actually, because I've watched it so many times, when I was watching these things, I was completely bored by all these things that initially, because it came out in 2010, so like for the past like 10 years, it like everyone's been buzzing off it and stuff, and like I think that when I went back to watch it, I was like, that stuff where it folds over, and then they didn't quite get it right, where when they step from the normal thing onto the wall, Leo kind of goes,
Yeah, he does look mad.
You know what I mean? Like, does some mad fucking jerk, and Elliot Page is fucking, having a mare, and
really, I'm trying to step on this ceiling. How'd you do it, Leonardo?
But yeah, so yeah, fucking it's so, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it is for some reason just a little annoying cunt in it. He gets he gets terrorized all the way through.
By Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's like fucking knocking his chair.
Doing all sorts of like to get him to like when they're saying they're in the dream. Knocks can like.
Yeah, and you've got to be like, you got to dream a little bigger, babe. You know what I mean? Whatever it doesn't say babe.
Probably goes in that.
You got to dream a bigger cock, babe.
Joseph, it's got to be bigger.
Yeah, you want to fuck me?
I'm Gordon Ramsay. Make it bigger.
Do you know what is a funny part about the what's she called? Ariadne.
Yeah.
There's all the way through it. She's this like curious genius who's very like brave and courageous. She'll go into a dream and find out what this thing is. She'll have the wife running at her, going to stab her, and she'll be like, I want to go in again. But as soon as Joseph Gordon-Levitt kisses her, in the next scenes following, everything he does, she's like, oh my God. And I was like, whoa, they really have that up. As soon as he starts, she's going, how do those explosives work? And he's going, basically, you've got to do this. And she's going, oh my God, oh wow.
Because he kisses her, doesn't he, in one scene, and then she goes like, did it work? And then I don't know, he says some sort of like,
he says,
little
worth a shot or something.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. He's like, it was worth a shot. And she's like,
yeah, she's like, and then for the 3 following scenes, she's like, just enamored by him, and then it goes nowhere, and it's like a weird, like, it's as if the studio were like, get something romantic in there.
Just a little tad something.
Something else romantic, because obviously, like, Leonardo DiCaprio's kind of, well, it's weird because he has a romance. It's a weird one, that one, like, but you know what pissed me off, which I didn't realise, is that, you know what his wife's called, isn't it?
Oh, Mona.
Mal.
No, yeah, right. So I, for years, thought it was Moll. As in, like, Molly.
Like Molly,
like for short for Molly, but it's, you go on Wikipedia, it's M-A-L.
Yeah.
So if British people were acting in, it'd be like, Mal. Please don't die, Mal. Like, Mal? What is that?
Mal, where are the kids?
Yeah.
Mal.
Do you want to go shopping, Mal?
Yeah, I bet it's something like MAL stands for Multi-Access Limited. Whatever. Do you know what I mean?
It is a... What's the actress called again?
Marion Cotillard.
Yeah, Frenchie.
Yeah, she is stunning.
Yeah, she is.
She plays that like she's terrifying in it.
That's it. Yeah, it's kind of similar to Dark Knight Rises
when she stabs.
Like Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, she's in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, like near the end where she turns into this, like she's the villain, and it's like, but she's got this horror about her.
She stabs in that as well, actually, doesn't she?
Yeah, she stabs Christian Bale. Yeah,
little stabber.
She's a fucking knife woman. But I think she's got like it's like a sexy aura though, isn't it?
Well, she's French, isn't she?
Yeah, that's it.
So
she don't really need to do much. She just needs to look at you, and you're like.
It is quite heartbreaking. You know what? I will say one of the best pieces of acting from DiCaprio when she jumps off.
Oh yeah.
The balcony. The balcony, and he's like, Jesus. Yeah. Really good from DiCaprio.
Because he's obviously saying we've got kids, and
it is brutal that scene. It's interesting because like that kind of that was. I honestly think it's peak Nolan. This actually, I think.
Yeah, true.
Well, people say it's his like best film, don't they? Like way up there, anyway.
It's like
I prefer the Prestige, but anyway,
yeah.
Because I'm fucking different like that. No.
Well, different class, Mall.
It's like the if you look at a discography of a famous band, it's like the most successful big one. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
So it's like
way up there,
highly regarded and like accessible and big. To go back to the thing you were saying about the building thing, the reason that I was like able to re-enjoy it.
I enjoyed it once.
Yes, it was because I'd watched Face Off and Armageddon going like, remember, this was the 90s.
Yeah.
So I watched this going, remember, this was 2010.
Yeah.
This was 14 years ago.
Yeah,
nothing was done like this before like that. So it did forget Interstellar, forget Tenet, forget the ones he brought out after. And I was like, all right, go into it with that mindset. And a lot of it is, but at the time it was like, whoa, have you seen that in that film like that? So
it's mad.
And I think he does a pretty good job of like, I don't know. There's nothing too corny in it.
No, it's not. None of it's corny. To be fair, like I remember at the time being like, "This is slick, good, really good, like to watch, like special effects blended with like reality and stuff like that. Like, it was really good." But I'm trying to.
It's like when most of the dreams are ending. It's always like things start falling apart.
Yeah.
And everything. So you're always on the edge, like, shit, are they going to finish what they need to do to get back to reality, if you like? So it is cool to watch, like, even when they're in, like, because it was filmed in, like, loads of different locations, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was, like, Japan, like, you'd have, like, the skiing one, and you'd have, like, the city one, and the water one. So, yeah, it's interesting to watch.
Yeah, it is cool how they had that, like, they're all places, because they even say that when they're talking about the dream thing, where they're like, you should draw from places that you know, but never copy places. And everything looks a bit, like when you're on GTA and you're like, that kind of looks like that place in LA or whatever.
Yeah.
They do that. I mean, that's almost a carbon copy on GTA, but in this, like, every scene that they have, it's like, oh, it looks like it could be somewhere, but it's changed slightly. And it is mad how on the different levels, like the first one's raining, and then it's like joke about him needing a piss on the plane, and that's why it's raining. And I'm like, that's the only one joke that they gave. Like they're like, which isn't.
Who did they give that to?
The guy,
the chemist guy.
The chemist guy.
Yeah, Indian guy.
He's the one. It's his dream. And he needs a piss on the plane. So
Right.
Little things like that where it's like,
yeah.
and then the snow level, and Cillian Murphy at one point is like, someone couldn't have dreamt of a fucking beach, like little things like that where it just keeps cutting to these different, and they've used all these different locations because to do dreams are like, we have to go snow, we have to go a hot place, we have to go.
Yeah, we
like,
have to make sure
like,
it's realistic. Then it's not just the same sort of location.
Yeah, so they had all this scope when they, I imagine when they're writing the film, they're like, we could do this, we could do this. So it is cool for, like, on top of it just being a mad film, it's like very well, it's like a good action film. It's also like got a lot of, I don't know, variety in it, I'd say.
Because they always like,
covers a lot of genres. It's almost like sci-fi as well in a way.
It's very interesting as well, like, because obviously everyone has dreams and stuff, and they always say, like, there's a part where they're saying if you've got like 5 minutes, if you have like a 5-minute dream, it's like, in the dream world, it's like
it's
hours.
An hour. Yeah.
And then in reality, it's like you know, like if guys,
no, it's true.
If we fall asleep and then we go, oh fuck, how long have I been asleep for? It's like, oh, you've only napped for like you know, someone next to you going 5 minutes, mate. It's like, fuck, I felt like I was in a genuine like fucking lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting because it's always like when the van comes off
and like they're suspended for
it's like falling
and you keep forgetting, don't you? Like you keep forgetting, you go, oh shit, they're still in the van.
Yeah, like they keep panning back to it now and again where they're like, right, it's getting halfway to where it's gonna fall. Like there's like a funny scene, like the guy who's driving the van, there's a scene where he rolls down the hill and they're all asleep and he kind of just goes, hey, did you see that? Clearly not, because they're all still fucking conked out, they'd be conked out because it's like, so imagine I've been asleep in a van and it flips over and then he's like, you alright? And he's like, still asleep, mate.
It's good. So. Yeah, I suppose there's a little bit of comedy in there too. So if we go from like, just to have a bit of structure to it. So the beginning is like, it's like flashback scene. The very first thing you see.
When he's on the beach.
I've written a note. One of my only 2 notes. One is Leo's hair is pink. The other one is the guard when he's poking Leo, right? Like at the very first scene, he washes up on the beach. Yeah. And there's a guard, and he's got a gun, and he flips the flap of his suit jacket,
and he's got a gun on it,
and you see his arse, and you see the gun tucked in. But I thought,
so just so you see his ass.
He didn't know that there was going to be a gun there. Was he just looking at his arse?
Maybe,
was he just flipping it up? See that arse? Oh, he's got a gun.
Fucking Leo. His hair's fresh. His arse fresh. Yeah. He's got a fresh arse with a fucking gun pointing at it. I'm going to fucking get that gun.
Before he calls anyone over, he's like, right. And then he flips him over. He's like,
gets in the office. He's like, Leo's got a fresh arse. Proper 2010 fresh arse.
He goes up to the Japanese guy.
2010 fresh arse. He's in his 30s at this point.
He goes up to the Japanese guy. He's like, got a fresh arse washed up on the beach. Can you do anything with it?
He's like, it to me.
I have been fucking asses for 80 years and I've been waiting for one.
I've been waiting for 2010.
I waited for a 2-barrel name, man.
I'm an old man dying of ass regret.
Who is that guy again then?
So
the guy who's talking to him, he's like, have you come here to kill me?
Yeah,
he's just there like eating stew or something.
No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
He's the guy who sets up the whole thing.
The only reason I'm saying that is
the guy
because
gets shot.
for some reason,
No,
because for some reason none of us know the name of this Japanese actor, even though he's got a great part in it, and that's what I'm taking the piss out of our ironic ignorance.
And also, he kind of looks like Mr. Miyagi as well.
Yeah. Also, he does. I've seen him painting fences. So
Yeah. There you go. He does.
and waxing cars.
So the guy who gets shot in one of the dreams.
Yes.
So that's him.
That's him.
Later on in life.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, no,
No.
later on in life.
That's him. That he's been in a dream for.
Oh, like 50 odd years.
Yeah.
When he's stuck in the limbo. Like,
See, this is me trying to understand the film.
No, to be fair, mate. Like honestly, I feel like I'm into films, and the first time I watched it,
I don't think you are supposed to even understand it. I think you're supposed to be like, oh, I better watch that again. He probably made it.
Definitely will though.
But anyway, so he's in there, and then he goes, and then it cuts then to the beginning of the actual film where he's interviewing him as the Japanese guy when he's younger and in a dream again. But this time it's part of the trial that he's doing.
And the reason he finds him, because it's in it looks like it's in like Beirut or something. I'm only saying that because it's just a war zone. And it's like, I'm assuming that's where he lives. So in the dream,
What do you mean Beirut?
Like the place that they're in, it's got like loads of like protests and there's bombs and stuff going on outside.
Oh, when they wake up,
yeah. So I'm like,
yeah,
maybe
I always
has a
wondered
house
where
there.
that was.
I'm just saying that just as a war zone. It could be any of the war zones. And there's many, and like they're in that one because there's a point where he's trying to like convince him it's not a dream or whatever. And then when he falls on the floor and he touches his rug, he's like, "This is not the rug that I have in my apartment."
This is polyester.
Yeah. And then when he comes out the dream, he's like, "You couldn't sort the rug out," and it's like, "Really? Is the detail that much?"
Yeah, he proper kicks off about it, doesn't he?
Again, being a bitch in it, being like, "You couldn't sort the rug out."
Leo's
And that scene is like, so he proves to him. Oh no, because what happens then on the train? He gets off, doesn't he? And then that guy wakes up and...
He says he doesn't like trains.
Yeah, he does.
So he's getting off at Kyoto.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but that's
he
him
doesn't
going,
like trains. So that's
caught.
like Christopher Nolan, but that's like Hollywood going, this guy's definitely not autistic. This guy's like a normal guy.
You've got to, in most films, he set that up early.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, they're like, he is autistic.
Yeah. Forrest Gump's first line is, I love trains.
Yeah.
But they had to say, DiCaprio, make sure that you don't say that.
Yeah, because people will think you're autistic because he's so smart.
Yeah. And hard.
And hard.
With that fucking fresh ass.
Yeah.
We'll do every Leonardo DiCaprio film we'll rate our freshest asses in each one. Anyway,
He's just got to do a Leonardo film every week now.
Yeah, okay. Your boyfriend. But so what happened then? Yeah, the train thing. And then it's setting up the whole, like, he has to get back to his, I need my family back. So he's like doing all this, like, he's like, it's a lot of like, that can't be done. And he's like, it's the only way.
Yeah. So that's what annoys me about Joseph Gordon-Levitt, because like they're in the helicopter with the Japanese guy and they're going, he's going, can you convince somebody that it's your idea or whatever? And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going, can't be done, like that. And then DiCaprio's like, I've done it already. And I feel like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, mate, why are you chatting shit if you don't know?
That little gimp at the party anyway.
Yeah, he's been like, no, it can't be done. It's like, no, nobody can beat the frog.
We're just like, we've done it, mate. So stop lying to everyone just because you didn't beat it. Fucking 2 minutes. What now?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
It's weird as well, actually, in the film. There's a lot of scenes where someone's like very adamant, where like, this can't be done, kind of thing, and then someone in the group will go, no, it can, and they go, she's right.
Yeah,
do this.
It's
like near the go on.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, I know what scene you
do
mean.
it so much down, like, so it's kind of like, right, they're in a dream then. Because in reality, it's like, shut the fuck up, mate. Just shut the door. But because it's a dream, it's like
disagreeable.
Yeah, because straight away there's a scene where they're all in the snow scene when they're all got the white suits on and that, and then I think Leonardo's like, we missed it, and all this, and Tom Hardy's like, oh well, we could give it a try.
And then
like
that's
the woman, was it Elliot Page? Like, no, why don't we do this? Make sure we can do this, then we can go back to this, and they both listen. And then Leonardo's goes, she's right.
I remember thinking that was very like it was all of a sudden
very persuasive, like within seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Tom's like giving that dying guy, like, gives him a bomb, gives him a gun. He's like, make sure no one can get in, and he's like, this guy's gonna fucking die in a minute anyway. But
well, that whole thing is, So Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character at the beginning is very like, if I say don't think of an elephant, what are you thinking of, and all that stuff. And like it reveals later that Leonardo DiCaprio did the Inception thing with his wife, but for a good cause, he thought, kind of thing. But and he sat there going, oh, I don't, like, he doesn't know that. Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't know this. And then when, like, Ariadne goes into Leonardo DiCaprio's dream to, like, find out what's going on, she comes out and she's like, the rest of the team don't know this. And I'm like, how do they not know this? Like, you have been here for a week and you know it all already. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, he sees your wife all the time in the dreams. He's like, what's she doing here? Why is she trying to kill us all? And he has no idea that there's something up.
Yeah, he's like, is there a reason she's here? And he's like, ask the question to Leo. He's like, why is she here? But yeah, it's weird because he's like framed for his wife's murder, is he, or something?
Yeah.
Is that like the plot of Leonardo's character kind of thing?
Yeah, she says that she got 2 different psychiatrists to claim that she's legally sane, so that, like, it says that he convinced her to do it or he killed her. So like, it's one of those where it's like, no, I couldn't have killed myself. He definitely had to have done it. So then he's like on the run.
Yeah.
So he doesn't go to jail.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. On the run for like 50 years.
In terms of how far are we in?
We're all still good. Oh, half an hour. We could. That was actually. It felt like a right time to have a little break, didn't it?
All right, then. Well, should we take a little break and come back with best performances and trivia?
Yes.
We're back.
We are back. We have a little break.
A little break, but we are back here to discuss different parts of the film. Inception came out 14 years ago to the date. I don't
a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream.
And then you woke up and thought, I don't think I'm fucking awake. I'm in another fucking dream.
You know what I thought was interesting? That, like, I think at the time when it's like 2010 it came out, so I was 20, so I was right into being like a little wank. You know,
I was just a little fucking 20-year-old wank.
Yeah, I was like right into being like, you know,
fuck capitalism, man. It's just rubbish, and like I like films and stuff. And then like,
and then I remember like watching it at the cinema, and fucking like, you know, everyone was saying, oh, like, which layers the reality, and it was interesting because I was like, well, the reality is actually, you know, you think. They all wake up on the plane at the end. You're like, right, we're back in reality now. But then the film ends and you're in the cinema and you're like, no, this is actually reality. So it's like a, you know.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone fell asleep during the film and then woke up and was confused as to
exactly like Leonardo did. All the fucking cleaners are doing all the roles, and it's like,
it starts assassin, starts breaking the necks.
And then his wife jumps out of a window.
You wake up like people like hoovering up, looking at you.
Yeah,
good film. Yeah, and you're like. You wake up, Ben next to me, I'm like, yeah. And then you're like, welcome back, Carl. I'm like,
pull a thing at your arm.
So best performances then.
So we've got on the cast, we've got DiCaprio, Murphy, Levitt,
Jesus,
Hardy,
fuck me,
Page.
Oh baby,
I'll turn the other one.
Cotillard. Watanabe, that was the guy. And was he Japanese? Japanese! Yes.
Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord.
You would have done some serious editing there. Every time we said it, Chinese guy.
All right, get it wrong again. I edit it, but it's wrong still. Tom Berenger, who is Browning, who is the guy who Tom Brady, and I feel like
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
What, fucking NFL?
Yeah, Tom Brady's in the film.
You see him running with the helmet on.
The Tom Hardy has to play. He has to play a guy that Tom Hardy is impersonating. And I think somehow he plays it well. Like I'm convinced that is Tom Hardy inside that guy's body.
Yeah.
He's not the best performance, but I do believe that part of it.
I feel like with Tom Hardy, like I've watched a lot of his films where he's like this. What you doing? Like he's, you know what I mean? He's always like the hard man.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I'm not saying he's a pussy in this film, but you know what I mean? With the accent, it's different.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
He plays more of like a sophisticated English.
That's it, yeah. Like
gentleman
playing more
kind
of
of
himself, if you like.
Yeah, and he's like,
that he normally does, I guess.
Where's Mal?
Yeah.
Like,
well, you know where Mal is. Cobb, come on, we got to get in this dream.
Yeah. No, Tom Hardy's pretty good though. So what are we saying? Does anyone have one in mind? Whether like best one?
I don't know. I feel like only because I know him from. I haven't watched a lot of his films or even his TV lot. Cillian Murphy. I just think like he's that hard man in Peaky Blinders where he's like. So to watch him in that and he's more emotional. Like the scene, like even when he's at the end with his dad, when he opens up the combination
Pete Postlethwaite.
Oh yeah.
Pete Postlethwaite plays his dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Plays the dying guy very well.
Yeah, he's
Doesn't
from
he?
Rounder, I think.
Oh, yeah. Was
Possibly.
he in that building?
Pete!
He's in
Don't
bed
get on the
still.
pod.
No, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I think he's
I'd probably say Cillian
Yeah,
Murphy.
from around here. Look that up.
Yeah,
Pull that up, Jamie.
I'd probably say Cillian Murphy myself.
Really.
Okay.
It's very easy to like lean towards Leonardo, innit?
Yeah, because
Do you know what I mean? Because he's the main guy. He's always the main guy in every film, pretty much. Like, he's my boyfriend. But he's like, it'd be easy just to say Leonardo because it's like, yeah, he's the man in the film again, like the main role or whatever. But
Yeah.
maybe kill him. Like I said, maybe the reason.
I think that's a good shout with Cillian Murphy because he's the only one who is not knowing what's going on with all the dream stuff, and he's playing it well.
Well, he's playing the victim, isn't he? I suppose.
Pretty much,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
getting involved where like Leonardo's like, no, Fisher's in there. You need to figure out, and he's like, right, okay. Like he's believing what's going on when he don't even know these people, I guess.
Fisher.
What's a funny part is when he is like, there's a bit where he's grabbing his dad's hand and he's crying to him. Tom Hardy is there being like, come on, and it's supposed to be
Yeah, he's like-
but he's so impatiently stood there like, let's hurry up with this.
He's like, the fucking van's falling, hurry up, it's not got
yeah.
long. And then he kind of does a thing where he gets it and he goes, just like nods a little bit, doesn't he? Go,
But yeah, he plays the whole like when he's being told that he's in a dream. Don't forget you've done this training. When he plays Mr. Charles, that technique. And again, that's like a heist thing, isn't it? Like there's a name for one of the heist techniques and stuff. And he's doing that with him, and he's playing the like but not believing him, but then believing him, and then being like that whole bit is really good. There's a bit in there where Leonardo DiCaprio's like talking to him, and it's the only weird part of the film that I kept replaying. And he's talking to him, and he's trying to figure out what he's going. Where were you? And he goes, I think we were in a moving vehicle. And he goes, you're in a van. He says it so funny. He goes, you're in a van. I'm gonna have to find that bit and squeeze it.
He says it with the code thing as well, where he goes like, what's the code? And then he just goes 5, 2, and he goes, that's a start. Right, I'm gonna nail this code now because he's doing the first two.
That's all we need.
And he does his accent's very convincing as well.
Cillian Murphy,
considering he's Irish, isn't he?
Yeah, I feel like
Northern
British and Irish actors, everyone from over these islands around us, are much better at doing American accents than Americans doing English.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
like
I
always find that I'm like, well, although
there's that clip been going around of Denzel Washington doing that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, what's that one?
He's doing like a British accent. And it is awful.
It will because you like Denzel, don't you?
Yeah.
It will put you off Denzel.
Is that his new film or something?
No. This is from like the late 80s. He was in a film, a British film, and he plays like a.
Fuck, you talking about, mate? Eh?
Yeah, like that, but bad. Anyway,
sending on the bleeding battlefield.
I do love Denzel.
Yeah, but we all have misses. Cillian Murphy is yours.
I'd probably say Cillian Murphy based on what
I was
said.
thinking Cillian Murphy too, but I'm going to try and go someone else just to
I don't
mix
mind.
it
I
up.
mean, you can do the same.
I would say from that scene of Leo when she drops off the balcony, some of his best acting, and his hair's so peng. His little arse and stuff.
His little ass.
I'm probably going to go with DiCaprio, I think.
Okay.
It's DiCaprio and then Tom Hardy's just thingy. I think that's probably one of my favourite ever like Tom Hardy roles. Because I feel like Tom Hardy plays these thuggish people, but what he really is, Tom Hardy, because he's from West London, is a kind of sophisticated English guy.
Arty, and whenever you see him in interviews, he's like very like well put together.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's got a good vocabulary.
Yeah,
you
can listen to him.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I feel like that Eames character is quite close.
Yeah,
so when he's
true.
like, he sat there with DiCaprio and he's like eating some nuts or something, and he's like, the geopolitical religions with the father's relationship to the subconscious mind. He's like kind of like dropping all these big words.
True. Yeah. There's a bit in that same scene where is this the one when the guy
in
tails
Mombasa?
Him? Yeah, in Mombasa, and he goes, he's like, it's a chemist. His name's Yusuf, like that. It's like even
his
like
names
the little choice
Yusuf.
the way he does it.
Yeah.
And there's like also when he's like, your condescension is appreciated as usual. Whatever, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt.
JGL.
Ben doesn't like him.
No, yeah. I think it's because I watched 500 Days of Summer recently, and he's in that being a little prick as well.
Yeah, he is a little prick. Well, if he's supposed to be a little prick though, he's done a good job.
I feel like Heath Ledger's death was the best thing that ever happened to him. Like, because
he was in the next one, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was just like, he just picked up everything because he looked slightly like him.
Yeah.
People were like, well, let's just give it to Joseph Gordon-Levitt then if he's dead. And like, he was in all Christopher Nolan's. Guaranteed Heath Ledger would have been in Inception because it was just right after The Dark Knight.
It's like if Tom Hardy died just before Inception, Charlie Hunnam would have been.
Yeah.
It's like that.
100%. Charlie, he's annoying. Well,
bad accents.
Yeah, bad accents.
Bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's for another time. We'll rip on him another time. So yours is a tie between DiCaprio and Tom Hardy.
I'm going to go with DiCaprio.
Okay, nice. Obviously, Michael Caine, because think about how many films he's done this exact same thing. Come and be a professor in a science film, and he wanders on set, and he's like, these are your lines, and he actually nailed it. No, that's not my real reason. Who would it be? He's all right in it. He has like 2 scenes, so I'm going to give it to Marion Cotillard.
Oh yeah,
because
Marion Cotillard,
she is scary in it, but also sometimes whenever it's this is me back in the day when I was a nice person, and it just shows even glimpses of it. Well, when I was a real person.
Yeah.
When he says later, like when Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like talking to Ariadne, and she goes, what was she like? And he's like, oh, she was lovely, but because she's just seen in a dream and like stabbing and stuff.
Yeah.
She's very good at switching between the two and being this desperate. Because there's the scenes where it made me realize, like, if you were in a dream and this woman you loved, who is like an evil part of your subconscious, if you're holding her and looking at her, you're going to be like, oh, but I like this, like, so I don't want to. And she was very good at like, and that when the waterworks are coming at the end, it's like she plays like some psycho dream lady really well. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, when she's pleading with him to stay on that level and she's crying and stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but also like whenever what's her face, Ariadne walks in a room, she'll like just go like. And just look terrifying. Like,
well, that's To be fair, she was like, not just saying it, but she was like my next choice. Okay. Like Tom Hardy, Leonardo, so many unbelievable actors and performances, but I always like to look for someone who, not like the underdog, but you know, someone who's like not very easy to pick, I guess.
Well, mine were between Cillian Murphy and Marion.
Yeah, there's loads of sick performances in it.
Yeah, it's great. A stacked cast as well.
Always stacked in it.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Right, should we get on some trivia? Oh no, have we all done them? Mm-hmm. Right, okay, we'll get a bit of trivia going on. Go on then, if you've got one.
I've got quite a few, to be fair. For some mad reason. But it was really interesting just to always like look at the background of everything in it, like who's obviously like the typical one. You always think who else was up for casting. I read apparently the role of Cobb, who's DiCaprio, he was actually offered to Brad Pitt and Will Smith first.
So always a lot of stuff has gone to Brad Pitt, and then Leonardo was like, I love it.
It's always and then it got turned down by those two.
Really? Will Smith's mad, isn't he? Yeah. Will Smith denied
Neo. Matrix as well, didn't he?
Matrix.
Yeah, he slaps Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Because he's fuming like years later. He's like, I should have been in Inception.
Have you seen that? I've seen a recent clip at another thing that's gone viral recently where Will Smith, I think it's at like V Festival or something in England. Oh. And it's like...
is this Will Smith?
Jada Pinkett Smith's there on stage with some guy who's playing like guitar, and she's like proper like licking him and shit, and like fucking like proper like grinding on him, and the camera just cuts to Will Smith, and Will Smith's like,
no way, actually, I haven't seen that.
He's had the piss taken out of him.
Yeah.
Because I saw him doing like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at some place, and then he had a new rap song that was awful. And I'm like, what are you doing? Anyway, but yeah, Will Smith.
To be fair though, I think that Will Smith like could have been good. Like, in Inception. I don't know whether he would have been good as Neo, but I mean in Inception. But yeah, Brad Pitt and Leo are kind of a bit interchangeable, aren't they?
It does seem like any role like that, it probably goes to them two first out of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Brad Pitt gets a little.
Gosling, what about Gosling's in the mix?
Yeah.
Of the Ryan variety.
Fucking Ryan.
What else?
Christopher Nolan thought about the script, or he started the script when he was 16.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, and it took him. It took 10 years to write.
It is so complex, and like you're saying, all the different relationships, like DiCaprio to his wife, DiCaprio to the kids, and like. There's just, and then also like the Cillian Murphy's whole thing with his father. That's another emotional thing that's going on. Like,
yeah.
It makes sense sometimes as well, where you think, all right, it did take that long because obviously people are like genius at what they do, but you don't think like, it took me fucking
The
2 months to
planning
write that.
in
The
that
planning,
film.
Yeah.
to get
Every level of the planning.
everything,
The
like,
story on top of that. And then
The pacing and
all of that. Like, if you even like take away like the story and all that stuff, once he's built this world, he has to take it to a team of like architects, literally architects,
much,
and then he's gonna like make it look like this, and he describes it. They bring that back, and then he's got like each character will have this clothing. I know it's like I'm just talking about how films work now, but the reason I appreciate it so much is as I was watching, I was like, they have got everything pretty much how it would be.
No, this is the thing.
World.
It's like you know when you watch Face Off, the concept is there, but you can tell that they're having trouble to land it every now and again. Like doesn't really work in this bit. Whereas Inception, it's just like start to finish. Like you said, it's so well organized, and that's what Christopher Nolan's films have been like.
So clean,
like with Memento, when he draws that fucking diagram and like it's all symmetrical, and it's like with Tenet as well that. You know, all that shit about it's the same thing forwards as it is backwards, and like all that kind of stuff. Like
true. So he really nails that thing. Like you can tell they've watched it over and over and gone, is there any holes in this? And like when you're watching it, there aren't many things where it's obvious. Like, well, that wouldn't be like the closest I could get. With my puny mind was that
my pathetic brain
was that they're like, oh, why can they all fight? Like, I'm like, can you also be a genius? And I don't know many like ripped fighting like Brian Cox can't also kick your head in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a good point too, because no one's like. You always feel like fighting scenes, particularly, it's like someone's got to be a brute, aren't they, or whatever. But then you got Joseph Gordon-Levitt fucking twatting.
Yeah. That's what I mean, little victim boy.
It was shot in 6 different countries, including Canada, UK, the US, France, Morocco, and Japan. Hardly any CGI was used. Yeah, and they used FX shots by combining live action and digital animation, which it actually won an Oscar for its visual effects as a film, which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, he does it a lot with like, let's not do CGI, let's try and do it practical. One of the ones I did notice though is, you know, when they fall, when he's like, you've got to go in that weird world, which you've got to forgive it a bit because it's supposed to look all wild like a dream. Yeah. But when they fall, they have this just still close-up face as they're falling like this. Yeah. And it's the only one where I'm like,
looks a bit green screen.
It looks a bit green screen, which, like, if that's the only one, I'm like, that's pretty good then.
Yeah, they managed to just
But that scene with them fighting in the hallway is like in 2001: A Space Odyssey. They had the spaceship turning like a wheel. That's what the hallway's doing as they're on it. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of that. Obviously, when he's floating around, it's what I'm assuming it's wires and stuff. But a lot of that is like trying to make it practically work.
Yeah.
By the way, Pete Postlethwaite is from Warrington.
Warrington, so not too far.
Good old Warrington.
So, Christopher Nolan's actual son plays DiCaprio's son in the film.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Magnus is called. He's like 20 months old at that point.
Right.
And then also.
So it'll be like how old is he?
He's like 20. He's like a year and a half old.
Right. So it'll be like 15 or something now.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't think he's ever been credited for any other film. I don't think he's an actor.
Apparently, Christopher Nolan also like makes the main character look like him. So he's like got. Really? He said I want him to have like blonde hair and then like wear like suits and shit. Yep. That's what Christopher Nolan
to show that pengas and that.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan's like, listen, I need someone with a pengas because mine's so good.
Mine's fucking like the director's ass, you know.
But by the way, sorry, I don't know. I feel like I'm stealing your trivia here because I'm on IMDb. And the first one is, this is sick. In an effort to combat confusion, television broadcasts in Japan include text in the upper left-hand corner of the screen to remind viewers which level of the dream they're in.
Oh, right.
So, like, the Japanese were like, nah, mate, you need to put a fucking label on it. Like,
wow.
Damn. Because that's almost, like, condescending to be like, no, we'll explain it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, definitely.
Yeah, there's something about levels to it. I also read something about, so the save combination, 5, 3, 8, 9, 1 is shown in the film.
Yeah.
So when Tom Hardy gets a woman's number, he gets like 6 digits, which is the same 6 digits. And then it's also the same as the code on the hotel room. So the team sleep in room 528. And then where Arthur detonates the bomb is the room below, which is room 491. And it says like to prepare charges to wake up the dreamers in the 3rd level. So that's like you mentioned about different levels of where the dream's at, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I got more than 6 stitches from your bitch.
Yeah, I got
So, go on, have you got another one, Ben?
I'm just reading some. It says that we all know that the snow-based level was based on Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is Christopher Nolan's favourite James Bond film.
Right, he loves it.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt performed all but one of his own stunts, including the fight scene in the spinning hallway. So maybe he isn't such a little...
I know, right?
Maybe it's like a fucking... pretty fierce guy.
Yeah, maybe we were wrong about him being a little loser. Nah, he's all right.
Is he Arthur's character? Is he character Arthur?
Yeah.
Because it said this is literally my last one. I know.
No way, it's Christopher Nolan. Oh yeah, Christopher Nolan's a Sir now.
Oh wow!
Shit, we've not been saying Sir Christopher Nolan.
Sir Christopher Nolan.
Start again.
Right, delete the footage.
Get the fucking camera in the freezer.
If we all say Sir now, I'll squeeze it in between.
Okay,
Sir. So,
go on.
Sir. How many do you need? Do you think, Bill?
Sir Christopher Nolan. I don't know whether this is like something anyone spots, but I can't even pronounce it really. But the number shown on Arthur's, is it totem?
Yes.
It appears several times in the film. It's an object to signify if he's in a dream or reality. Is a red pair of dice. When he shows it to, is it Adrian?
Yeah, Adriani.
Adriani.
The
side with 5 dots faces the camera. In his dream at the hotel, it appears several times. Like even when he's fighting, there's like dice next to the elevator.
Okay, they love it. Only just dressing up all the scenes with that kind of stuff.
Another reason why DiCaprio's best performance, and I've heard he's done this he does this in pretty much every film that he gets involved with. Yeah, says when he was cast, he spent months working with Christopher Nolan, working on the script. Nolan said that he made some extraordinary contributions to the script and really challenged me to make the script clear, but also to follow its interior logic and find the true essence of the characters. And basically, like I've heard that Leo does this on every film. He kind of like says to them, but like really gets involved in like developing his own like the character and also the and you can tell, right? This is what's really interesting because sometimes it's not always the director.
No.
And this is why DiCaprio, if you look at his filmography, it's just smash. Like every 100%. Single one's a sick.
Yeah,
it's difficult to find a shit one that he's been in
definitely.
25 years. So it's like when he gets involved, he obviously, and because Inception is way more of like a human story to it than Christopher Nolan's other films, like especially Tenet. That's the problem that people had with Tenet is that it didn't have any romance or anything really. It was just like this like logical.
Yeah, it's so logical.
Yeah. So it didn't have any real like characters where people are like trying to find redemption or finding their way back to the kids or this love story like.
And if you think like had DiCaprio started doing films with Scorsese by then, where it's all that. The classic thing in a Scorsese film is like the rise and then the fall of a guy, and it's like that's where he got the exasperated thing from, that kind of thing. And it's like he in this film, I've heard that as well. It was another film at the Tarantino one, the most recent one.
Oh yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He added all that shit where he's like going sick in his trailer, like smashing. Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yet?
Oh, okay, that's another good one.
Okay, I watched that.
But yeah, definitely. I was gonna say, you must get to a point where you get certain actors on because you're like, they will not only improve, they'll not only be the star, but they'll improve the film.
They've
got such a like Leonardo DiCaprio is like out of all the people who know cinema, he's been in the best films. So you want him in your film.
Yeah.
Like said, this is how you make the best film.
Like you mentioned, like it's very difficult to name a film and go, shit, that. Because it is genuinely fucking good.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like, it's weird. And I always used to think, I was like, how is he so good at just like picking these things? But it does seem like the reason is because he actually engages with them himself. Definitely. And he's not just like, okay, I'll just read the lines that you've given me. He's like, with his, he's like, with his brilliant hair and he's
love him. We all love him. We'll just call this like Leonardo DiCaprio fan club podcast. All right.
Any more trivia?
Kate Winslet was approached for the role of Mal.
Oh, that would have been mad, wouldn't it?
That would have been a
Leo and
fucking
Kate
reunion for
Yeah.
Titanic.
Yeah,
I think that would have made it probably better.
maybe, yeah. Yeah,
Her
probably
crying
would've.
on that ledge.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
imagine.
her dying, and
Imagine.
then it's interesting because it's like, don't let go, Jack, and she's the one.
Yeah.
It's the other way around. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That
I got
would have
my
been a
revenge
big part
13
of that
years.
film.
Yeah.
People would have made that a huge, like,
100%,
yeah.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah, but I suppose what was the reason? She turned it down because she couldn't see herself as a character. No way.
it's mad that
Fucking
anyway.
bitch.
It's so mad anyway. People like get to that point, don't they? Of like they do it as a career, like film, like actresses, and then you get to a point where you find out like Christopher Nolan approaching you, do you want to do this film? And you go, nah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's right for me. And it's like,
But that's when you really know that someone like has artistic integrity, I suppose. I saw this thing. This is a funny thing to bring up, I suppose. I saw part of Jim Carrey's Wikipedia article is him being questioned about doing another film, and he's like 60 this time, and he's like, I've done enough. I am enough. I like whatever.
Yeah,
It says
yeah.
all this, and then it goes like, would you never do a film? It's like, if the angels come along and write a film in gold ink, I
Yeah.
might do it. And then it says he later reprised his role as Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the
Sonic
Hedgehog.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like if you are going to talk about that, then yeah, you should probably
Need to
do
back
that.
it
But
up.
yeah.
yeah, whereas I suppose Kate Winslet not choosing to do that is probably a good. I should pop up what her next film was, and if it was like some sort of shit film, that this point is mute. But it must be mad that being in a point where you can go like, no thanks, Christopher Nolan. Maybe
Yeah.
the next one.
Mad. How big that film was as well.
It says that cable listings for this movie show the runtime as 2 days, 9 hours and 14 minutes, the length of time it would have take to watch it in a dream.
Sorry, how long again? Sorry, what was the first bit?
So like say on Sky or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sky did it.
Okay.
Shout out Sky.
Yeah.
Um,
If you want to be a sponsor on this.
Rupert Murdoch. So Dandelion and Murdoch. Right.
See, that's a little snippet.
So on Sky, it'll say like how long the film is.
Yeah.
Right.
They showed it as a little joke, being like, "Oh, it's 2 days, 9 hours and 14 minutes long,"
Right.
and that's the length of time it would have taken if you were to watch Inception in the dream.
Right, that's
Nearly
amazing.
fucking
I love it the
60
first
hours.
time you said cable, but then you were like, these dum-dums went out. Sky, remember that? And we were like, yeah. I used to watch Babe Station.
Dandelion and Murdoch.
This is one of the top 50 highest grossing movie of all time.
No way.
Top 50. Does that make
It's so good that that's why I think people buzz off it so much, is because it's like a really, it's not like a usual Hollywood blockbuster because
Yeah.
of it of how cerebral it is, and like how sophisticated and complex the plot is. And it's interesting. You rarely get like that perfect storm of like amazing concepts, like difficult to figure out, but blockbuster DiCaprio and all that shit.
Yeah.
And still highly regarded. You get involved.
Let me tickle your feet for another 30 minutes.
Nice. Wait, James Franco was in talks, blah blah blah, to play Arthur, who would have been Joseph Gordon-Levitt's. None of us can say his name.
How long we done?
We've 26 minutes, so we can
Okay.
get to the
Yeah.
unless there's some fucking amazing trivia. Oh, we've not gone on spoilers trivia. Let's do two of them, and then we'll do our favorite.
I actually
thing.
found that what's it called, Elliot Page.
Yes.
Was watching it now. It was a bit not weird, but I was just like, oh. Sometimes when something's that public with your life, I'm like watching it, going, was she thinking about it then?
I was thinking
When
this.
she
I'm
was-
like,
or like,
you,
did that influence her
yeah.
to make that decision because she was like trapped in a dream, trapped in a body?
Oh, okay.
No,
Like in the same way that the Wachowski sisters, like, there's this whole thing about them making the Matrix, and it's all about being trans and stuff.
oh, is that
that's
really?
like a whole theory. We should do the Matrix.
I have
soon.
heard that before.
But also, yeah, I was watching it going like, I suppose on top of playing this character, you're also like playing a woman. If you knew that then. So yeah, I do get that. But yeah, like you said, you're watching it under that.
She is in Umbrella Academy though. Well, they are in Umbrella Academy now, aren't they?
Yes.
So Elliot Page is still like doing like as a good actor. because that's one thing that I would be worried about if you did it. If you were like proper like, oh, I'm a sick actor now, and you'd be like, I'll transition, and it's like, but am I gonna lose?
But that was probably
going to be high profile of roles and stuff. What you're getting for yourself.
That probably was a fear. Like, I suppose if you change it anyway, you probably.
I've not read Page Boy, so I'm not sure.
Page
Boys.
Boys.
That's Page Boy is the autobiography. That
no way.
They brought out.
Oh right, okay.
It's called Page Boy.
I was like, I know that this is a thing, but I was like, yeah, okay. Paperboy. I thought it was some sort of story of a paperboy. Right. So, where are we now?
Well,
do we have one more? Or should we just do the
Ariadne comes from Greek mythology. She was the daughter of King Minos, and is best known for her pivotal role as something about a minotaur. It's just all Greek shit. I can't be honest with that.
I love it. They had a lot of layers to it. Do you know what's funny? At the beginning when you were like, it's a maze of a film, I'm like, that's the whole thing. That's like a good way of putting it, really, because that's the whole point of it. It's like, make a maze, like he says to
true.
So you were right in thinking that, and that is what it's. And it says.
He said a clever thing. The only thing he'll ever say. We'll look back on this one day and think this is why we made this podcast. It's like a maze of a film, Inception, ladies and gentlemen.
Just across the screen. Quote. Great. Right. So, do we go on that old? What do you think of No Regret? The song. I love that song, mate.
Edith Piaf.
Yeah, Edith Piaf.
Yeah. Little Piaf. Edith Piaf.
Piaf.
She was a little tiny woman, wasn't she?
She was Edith Piaf. I wonder if her mates called her that.
I think they
and
did.
She was like, no regrets.
Yeah, she's like, I got no regrets, and I sang a song about it. You know, it's in the top 10.
I am a Pied. Anyway, so right, are we doing it?
No, I'm not a Pied. No, my head is normal size.
Vito male. Mal is not mal. No, go on, sorry. Are you rating now?
Let's rate.
Let's rate the films. Ben, do you want to rate first?
Get your rate on.
Okay,
it's out of 5.
A ratist.
Rate then.
Rate it. Rate. RATE, rated. Don't get it mixed up.
Yeah, so I'm torn between a 4 and a 5.
Same.
Because watching it recently, I was like, because I didn't proper buzz off it, but because I've probably bashed it out too much. Up until I watched it, it was. Are we still talking about?
When you went, because I bashed it out, I just wanted to go with your cock.
Yeah. Bashang that bashak. So I'm torn between 4 and a 5. I'm gonna go with 4.
Okay.
Just because jokes are fucking Gordon-Levitt. No.
If he wasn't in it, if it was fucking Heath Ledger, it'll be a fucking 5.
There you go, man. If Kate Winslet was Marion Cotillard.
I feel like maybe Departed stronger.
Yeah, I definitely
Well,
think stronger.
It's difficult. The two different films, aren't they? Are they, Ben? Yeah.
We're all different people. We all have different
Are they different
opinions.
directors?
I thought they were one continuous film.
Can you believe all this happened to Leonardo DiCaprio after what happened to him in The Departed?
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
had a hard
He's
life.
having a rough time, isn't he?
you literally can't do it like he said. He goes, I can't fucking keep beating someone else.
Yeah, exactly. They tried to catch him once, but they cannot.
I'm gonna go probably with my instincts, and I'm gonna rate it a 4. I think.
Good rating. I think a 4 is fair. I think I probably would go 4 too, because I was about to give it a 5 because I am buzzing off it. But a 4, strong 4, is a great film.
Yeah.
5 is like, it's knocked me bloody socks off, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've nothing we've done yet have I been like, did I give The Departed a 5?
I don't know if I give that a 5.
Yeah,
sure I gave that a 5.
we all
Gave
gave
it a
Departed a
5.
5.
And that's one of the ones where I'm like, yeah. And then the rest have been like just under that. I'm like, the good films, but nothing's like, yeah. So I'm going to go with 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I'd give it a very, very solid high 4, pushing 5. Because the first time I've ever watched it, a brilliant film. and I think of High 4 is definitely
Highfalutin.
highfalutin.
I think so too.
Yeah, top
High
film.
4.
Everything about it is like, you know,
High
if he's
4.
taken 10 years to develop this film, it deserves a higher rating because he pulled it off as well.
I think it's peak Nolan. Unfortunately, well, you don't know, do you? Because like Martin Scorsese, like had a whole decade where he wasn't seen to be making great films, and then he came back. So maybe Nolan will come back. But I think Nolan, Yeslan.
He's
So
related to Cillian. No,
Chris.
Sir Christopher Yeslan.
Sir Christopher Nolan. Yeah,
Yeah.
Forgetting he is fucking knighted. He is a man who is Sir Christopher Nolan.
But yeah, I think if he made films like, you know, like Prestige and Inception have both got these like human like characters to it, like
Interstellar even.
Yeah, Interstellar. Although
If it's not, I
don't like
favorite, it's
Interstellar.
still got it in there, hasn't it?
it has got it in there, but
Yeah.
there's something about Interstellar which I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, but then I don't know. Even with Oppenheimer,
Right.
I mean, let's not talk about. We can briefly touch on it.
I've
Oppenheimer.
I've not even seen it.
No.
Have you not?
No.
Oh,
I started watching it at my sister's house because I was staying over, and then we end up.
And then you end up shagging her.
Yeah, it's my stepsister. It's okay.
Same bad.
No, but the it turned off. Like, so I was just like, I'll watch another time.
You were
never
turned
did.
off.
I was
Yeah,
turned
you
off.
turned
Yeah,
off.
it wasn't.
You
a
thought you were going to go
film.
through it, then you were like, no.
I prefer him in Peaky Blinders. No, but it turned off, and I was like, right, I need to commit to it. But maybe that's one we could do for this.
Could
Yeah,
do,
put it
although
on.
it's a bit interminable.
Okay, I don't fully know what that means.
It's a bit of a struggle to
Okay.
watch.
Thank you. See, cable, Sky, I don't understand.
Yeah,
Interminable.
cable.
Shout out to Sky.
You got to say, ooh, ouch, it's difficult. Right, well, we've all given it a 4, haven't we?
Yeah.
Solid 4. I
That's
think
good,
it
isn't it?
deserves that.
So that's it.
So subscribe at the bottom there.
Thank you for anyone masturbating over us if you've been wanking during this.
I've been Karl Porter.
Very flattering that you do that to us,
Appreciate it.
especially, you know, when we look like this. But yeah, I've been Ben Silver, so, you know, message me on Instagram if you want.
I've been Phil Sutton, so message me.
This is thank you for Silver Screen Time.
Yeah, by the way, thank you for watching Silver Screen Time. You're now watching Silver Screen Time.
Get it in a few
We're
times.
getting
So
it,
you can edit
we're
it, do you know what I
Have
mean?
you ever watched Silver Screen Time? Click subscribe on Silver Screen.
Oh, wait. So start again. So click on.
Click on.
No, you said Silver Screen Time. So yeah, if you want to subscribe, click on to
Silver, man.
Wait, is it Silver
Screen.
or Silvers?
Silver's Cream Time.
There we go.
No.
Karl
Anyway,
Porter.
you get
Cheers.
it. See you in a bit. Bye.
Right, it's in a bit.